So it was around winter 2020 or like winter 2021. Basically, do you remember that time where everyone was told to stay at home and businesses and schools were getting closed because of some sort of scam? I don't even remember what the scam was, but around that period, and I just started to eat raw meat. I was drinking all the raw eggs in the fridge. I was trying to get raw milk somewhere. I was eating some raw meat here and there. I was just starting out, and I wanted to transition just cold turkey into a raw primal. Like I was 16, I just started eating raw meat. I tried some raw food. So yeah, it didn't kill me. I will just fucking go and eat full raw primal cold turkey. But I was 16 and I didn't have a job, so I couldn't just afford the food. But that was about to change because the scam which I told you about around 2020, it was just ending, and we were basically going back to school, back to slavery, whatever. But I was actually looking forward to coming back to school because that would mean I would get money from my parents for food because I studied in a different city. I lived somewhere completely else. So they will just give me food, I mean money for me to buy food in the school. So I went to the school place, and luckily we have this like vending machine for raw milk near the school place. That was neat. That's source for raw milk. Then I found a butchery with cheap ass organs. Like the organ quality was terrible, and I will talk about not eating low quality organs, but I didn't know that yet, and I just came there and I saw, oh, cheap ass organs. I can just buy these. And yeah, I basically made myself familiar with the food sources. Yeah, there's supermarket meat I can buy, there's raw milk. Yeah, I will have fun just being in school and eating raw meat, whatever. But then I came there and I found out that I'm forced, before I could start primal, there was this one obstacle. I was forced to go to the school lunches because they were paid for by my parents, and I couldn't just sign them off. I couldn't tell them out of my free will, hey, I don't want to eat your garbage slave food. I don't want to pay for it. Like, cut me off your fucking slave food lunch program. I don't want it. And they didn't allow me because, especially because I was living at the school. And if you live there, you cannot just sign the food off, and you are forced to pay it even if you don't want to eat it. And my parents were like, yo, we won't sponsor your fucking raw meat fucking food. Go eat the food like there. We already pay your fucking food program for the school. No extra money for your raw primal or shit, whatever. So years ago, I remember I was with a doctor who was like measuring my allergies or whatever, and he found out that I'm like allergic to one kind of herb, and then that I'm mildly allergic to. Yo, my phone just fucking died because it was overheating in the sun. So I was in this with this doctor years ago, I remember, who told me that I am mildly allergic to eggs and milk, which at this point, I don't know. Originally, I believed him because I would have like gut issues and acne from pasteurized milk. But as I went into raw prima and I started to drink like 10 raw eggs a day and drinking raw fermented milk and shit like that, then I obviously understood I'm not mildly allergic to eggs and milk. But I just used my Aryan brain, and right away, when they told me, hey, you have to pay for the lunches which you don't want, I just thought of a, yeah, what if I'm allergic to the stuff which you put in there? What if I had like a fucking doctor paper approved, like, yo, he's allergic, he cannot eat your food. You cannot force him to like pay for your food. He just doesn't need to eat your food. He has allergies. So I went to my doctor, and I told them, hey, can you please bring out the fucking message, like the fucking report of me being mildly allergic to eggs and milk, because I'm in school and they force me to eat their foods, their lunches, with like pay for the lunches with eggs and milk in them, and I'm so allergic to them. I cannot have them. I like have eczema from them. I cannot eat eggs and milk. I need to report that I'm allergic to them so they can stop feeding me that crap. Like, stop forcing me to pay for that shit. So they did. I triumphantly went to my school and I told them, you have to sign me off your fucking food program, sorry, because I have a paper which shows that I'm allergic to eggs and dairy. And you have eggs and dairy in your foods. Sorry, I just can't. And they look at the report like, yeah, okay, you are allergic to eggs and dairy. The doctor says it. Then we cannot force you to buy our food. Yeah, sure. So they signed me off, and instead of my parents paying for their food, they gave me money to buy my own food. So after I didn't need to pay eat their food because it became clear to them I was allergic to dairy and eggs, I started to buy and drink like 2 liters of raw milk a day and like 10 plus raw eggs a day. Because I was so allergic to them that I just, that they made up 90% of my diet afterwards. Yeah, fuck yeah. So, yeah, I will get to the fun part of me eating raw meat in school and getting kicked out later, but like, let's talk about the other things. I would just randomly buy raw eggs in the supermarket because they were like half the price in my country, Czech Republic. Now raw eggs cost like, there are like 3 kinds of eggs. Free range, I never had fucking money for that. Then like cage fucking eggs, I never fucking ate them, like expect like few times. And then like something like it's basically inside, it's garbage, but they are not locked in small cages, but are like roaming around in these holes. And yeah, I basically just bought them in the supermarket randomly, and I drank them throughout the day whenever. Sometimes I would randomly put them into my raw milk to make milkshakes. I would just randomly drink raw eggs in fucking school, anywhere, whatever. Sometimes I will just randomly buy 30 and eat 30 raw eggs a day. Yeah. Then raw milk. That was funnier one because there was this vending machine which I told you about, but eventually I found out that in the nearby village there was this farmer who would sell it much cheaper, like half the price which I would get it at the vending machine. It was like $1 at the vending machine for a liter of raw milk, and at the farmer it was like fucking 50 cents or even less for a liter of raw milk. So I just went there, and it was pretty far. I didn't want to go there every single day, so what I did is I took like several bags. I would go to the farmer uphill like few kilometers. Then I would wait there till like 5 p.m. when the farmer gets home. So I would, after school I would end, and I would fucking wait until the farmer gets home, and then I will get raw milk. And then I would go with like 8 liter. I started with like 3 liters, then I got up to 4, then like 5, then 6, then 8. And it ended up in me carrying like 12 liters of raw milk, like every 3 days. Yeah, I would go there, buy 12 liters of raw milk, and then walk with 12 fucking liters of raw milk back to my school accommodation. And I would drink like 4 liters of raw milk a day, sometimes more, plus the raw meat, plus the raw eggs. Yeah, that was a funny story, and I could elaborate on that for. Yeah, I will. There was after I was kicked from school, and I lived. Yeah, that's all. That's fun fucking story. I will get to it later. But the raw meat thing, I just basically got raw meat into mason jars, and I would carry them with myself to school, and I would just eat it there, and everyone would be fucking staring at me like, "What the fuck? You eat raw meat or whatever?" And since most of the stuff which I ate was like raw organs, I just basically ate raw organs from mason jars in the school, and it would freak everyone the fuck off. I would just stand on the school break, like everyone was fucking, "What are you eating? What is that?" And I will just fucking, oh come on, I would just take the thing, and I would go in front of this class on the fucking school break, and I would say, "Oh, by the way, if anyone hasn't noticed, yes, this is fucking raw liver. Stop asking me about it." And then I will like sit back down. And the thing is, I didn't have access to fridge where to hide the organs, and I will just buy them in bulk. I will buy 3 days worth of food at once, and it was in room temperature. So usually the organs will be fucking rotting. They will rot, and I would just eat them like green. It was like not high meat, but like 3-day fermented, and I would eat it in front of my classmates. And I kid you not, I ate the fucking rotten fucking organs. I didn't even enjoy it, and it was shit quality as well. So it was fucking probably fucking me up health wise. And I ate, it smelled like shit. And in not one but 2 different cases, someone smelled my breath because they were talking to me while eating the rotten thing, and then they smelled my breath like with the full of the rotting meat, and they fucking went to the toilet and vomited 2 fucking times. And the funny story is that one of these guys Like we became friends afterwards, and we were on this trip to a zoo, and I to this zoo like with the school, and I brought like kefir with myself. It was like fucking week old fermented milk with alcohol, like smelling like a smelly fucking cheese. And I drank a lot of that in the bus before like we met at the zoo. And then I was chilling with the classmates, carrying my fucking kefir in the fucking zoo. And there was this guy, the guy who literally fucking vomited because of my bad breath, because of the rotten meat. And he was like, "Hey, bro, your fucking mouth, it actually doesn't smell. Like, try to breathe on me, like, if I smell anything." And I was like, "What the fuck, bro? You vomited the last time, fuck off." And no, like, try it. Like, so I breathed on them, and he was like, "Bro, your breath literally doesn't smell. It's like it's like the most fucking neutral fucking not smelling smell ever. Like, did you fucking start brushing your teeth or something?" And at that point, I didn't brush my teeth for like months, and as I told you, I drank like 2 liters of a fucking week-old, sour, fermented milk, which would fucking get me fucking kicked out of my job if I brought it there. Like, it was so fucking foul, and I drank 2 liters of that. It has fucking alcohol in it. And then after that, my breath supposedly didn't smell at all, which came from a guy who vomited because of my breath once. That's cool. So if you are lazy to brush your teeth, just ferment your milk into alcohol and then wash your breath down with that. It's like fucking mouth water, or how do you call it, or Listerine or some shit like that. And yeah, when I met that, I remember at that period a funny story which I can like entertain you with. I was going to the gym once. It was around the period I was going to the school, and I was in the gym while studying, and I brought like fucking raw milk, which is just as fermented as the milk I told you about, to the gym. I drank it between the workouts. Then after workout, I will probably eat like honey with that or eggs. But I was hydrating with raw milk, raw fermented milk, in a glass bottle, liter glass bottle. And I was doing bench press, and I was like, yo, if the weight fucking falls off my fucking bench, like the fucking barbell, it will crush the fucking raw milk and it will fucking destroy it. I cannot have that, so I moved it somewhere else. Then I did my bench press, and when I racked the weight, a fucking heavy circle heavy man-made circle, fell out of the rack at the fucking raw milk. If I left the raw milk where it was before, it wouldn't fall on it. But where I placed it in order to not get it broken, it got broken by something which fell there. And then I cut myself, and there was this just fucking raw milk which was smelling like vomit. It was dirty, and there was my blood because of the glass shards. And I was almost kicked out of the gym, and somehow I was allowed to come back afterwards. But yeah, they told me like, "Hey bro, you are too dangerous to yourself. Like, you fucking cut yourself with glass, you lift heavy weights with bad form. We cannot have you because you will fucking self-harm, and then we have to deal with this shit, whatever." Yeah, but so I was at the school, and yeah, which is very funny is that there was this one guy who was going to the gym in the school. He was like lifting, and he was way stronger than I was. And I remember that I was like, "Hey bro, I will catch up with you. Like, I do cold showers, I do no fap, I eat raw meat, I will fucking crush you." And he was like, "Yeah, whatever, bro." He was like very I don't remember the weights I was lifting and he was lifting, but I was very skinny. And yeah, it was before the scam of 2020 actually. And I don't remember what biohacking I was doing. I don't remember if I ate raw meat at that point or I didn't. But I kept telling him, "Hey, I will be as strong as you are within a year because I'm just fucking better than you. I will fucking beat you. I will be stronger. I will be more jacked or whatever." And he was like, "Yeah, bro, you can fucking try. I'm the fucking best." And we were just fucking measuring our peepees basically. And after the scam, when we came back, I came to the school, and it turned out that I was right, and the raw meat which I was eating just got me fucking jacked, and I just got stronger than him and more jacked than him because I ate raw meat, whatever. Like, we during the whole scam of 2020, we were lifting, and we were basically lifting and training, weight training. He didn't have a pause, I didn't have a pause, but I had no trouble becoming stronger than him because of my diet. But yeah, so I'm at this point eating raw organs like it was nothing in front of the class. Everyone was interviewing me. At some point, Yeah, at one point I was like eating raw brain in there, and there was this classmate who was missing, and the teacher asked, "Hmm, what tasty thing do you have in there?" And I didn't, and I said, "Not what, but who?" And I told it's the fucking the classmate who was missing. Let's say he was Kubets, and I told him not what, who. That's Kubets. And then everyone was laughing, and there was this one skinny guy, very skinny guy, who was like anxious, skinny, like introvert, and he was laughing at it and like, ha ha ha, funny joke, guys. And I pointed at him like a fucking predator. Don't laugh. You're next. And he was like, and he just started like fucking to completely serious. No, bro, not me. I'm like too skinny. You wouldn't have too much meat from me. Yeah, but at one point I was in front of the school with my classmates who were like fucking smoking. There was like fucking 20 kids smoking, and yeah, next to the school, the fucking every fucking kid was smoking. Like in my class, there were like 3 people who didn't smoke and like 27 people who smoked, and I was one of the 3 who didn't smoke. And there was this fucking gathering of people who smoke all of the time in front of the school. School break, they are smoking. Lunch break, they are smoking. Before school, they are smoking. After school, they are smoking. Just bunch of fucking nicotine addicts. And yeah, they were smoking. And then when they came to the class after smoking, they got these fucking nicotine bags. They were 24/7 on nicotine. Nicotine bag, cigarette. Nicotine bag, cigarette. Fucking, yeah, and also they were high on energy drinks all the time. Like it's and later on even kratom. It's over. These guys are going to be fucking bald and dead and fucking destroyed when they are 40. It never began for them. But yeah, I was with these guys, they were smoking, and I was just standing there eating fucking raw meat, fucking rotten raw organs or whatever, and a teacher passed by. And they were like, someone who is smoking under the legal allowed age of smoking on the school's property. That's fine. 20 fucking kids under the legal age of smoking on the school's property. That's fine. Then they walked by me and, a guy eating raw food. Let's go to the fucking principal. And that day, I got fucking, yeah, I missed some points. No, yeah, I can continue from here. Basically, they went to the fucking principal and they told him, "Hey, there's this fucking guy eating raw meat." And while that was happening around that time, because of the scam of 2020, we were still like supposed to wear face masks sometimes. And I was so opposed to it, so that I took like a face mask and I drew like controversial symbolism on it, like fucking communist and fascist and other dictatorship fucking symbolism, and bad words and 1984 and shit like that. So that and when I wore it, everyone got fucking offended because I was trying to say like, this is fucking slavery, tyranny, dictatorship. Fuck you. And I had these fucking controversial symbols, like as in like I was suppressed by a fucking dictatorship for being forced to wear a fucking muzzle. Like, yeah, that was such a fucking scam. Like, I remember riding a train once, and I was supposed to have this fucking mask with this fucking muzzle for dogs, and I didn't have it. And the train inspector came, and they were like, "Put on your fucking mask!" Like, if they were a fucking communist, a fucking Gestapo fucking officer. And then there was a fucking this lady with a child there, and she had like a small child in the fucking crib there. And she was like, the inspector was like, "You are so selfish. You are such a disgusting human being. There is a mother with a child here, and you are endangering the fucking child by not wearing a fucking muzzle." And I'm not exaggerating. She was literally screaming at me. And as she was screaming, the baby got scared, and it started crying. And the mother had to comfort the child. So this evil human being having a power trip and exercising authority over a fucking 16-year-old kid just fucking made a baby cry while telling me that I am a bad person for not wearing a muzzle. if we live in a dictatorship, we lived in a dictatorship, and she was told to execute her fucking, she was told to execute someone for committing a thought crime, she would fucking do it. I've even heard of a fucking book talking about how the average population, the people in fucking going to job, 9 to 5, obeying laws, are the perfect people to turn into soldiers to commit war crimes if they would be asked to do it by a dictatorship regime. It's just that they live in a regime which doesn't require it of them, so they don't do it. But they will happily do it because they are just fucking automatons without a soul for most of the time. So I had this face mask. This face mask, it pissed someone off at the school, so that got written down to the thing with the fucking, with the raw meat. And then I had another incident. It was like, it was like a thought exercise. I was telling I was telling someone like, bro, I'm not a racist, but imagine that you woke up in a room and you wouldn't know where you are. And in one case, you would wake up with random 5 people, and in the other case, you would wake up with random 5 gypsies. Like, you aren't racist for saying you would like prefer to wake up with random 5 people. It's just natural that you prefer people who are like you. And someone snitched on me saying that, so then that also got to the principal. And another thing was like, there was this guy who was bald, and he was like smoking this fucking not electric cigarette, fucking vape, this fucking watermelon fucking air, whatever. Fucking retard. And he I was new there, he just fucking didn't like me, so he just like went to my face, and I was like, don't fucking do that. Because I just didn't want to let anyone stamp over me. And he was like, again, he ignored me and did it again. And like, I didn't actually get offended because I didn't even give a fuck. Like, actually like the smell of the watermelon. It was just fucking water, like fucking water, air, steam, whatever on my face. I absolutely didn't care. I wasn't offended at all. I'm a chill guy. I don't fucking get emotionally attached to fucking things that happen to me. Or I do maybe sometimes, but not when it's disrespect from someone I don't even acknowledge as a human. But he just did it. But I didn't give a fuck. But I wanted to give out a message to not fucking mess with me. So I just got into a fight with him. Like, it was literally the second day in school. I came late to the school. So one day, I came there. I just checked it out. I didn't even like attend the class. I just went there and I left. The second day, my first basically day which I was studying there, I got into a fucking fight in like first fucking class or second class of the day because he like smoked on me. So I like fucking threw it into the ground, we wrestled, then he got on me, but then a fucking teacher got him off me. And I was losing that fight because I was on the ground, he was on me. But later on, as I was studying in that school and I was gaining a lot more weight from bodybuilding and eating raw meat, he told me repeatedly, bro, I will never fucking fight you again because you look like fucking this now. Like, bodybuilding doesn't actually make you better at fighting, but it does intimidate people who don't know about fighting. So, yeah, I've got more respect out of that. But yeah, no one fucking tried me ever again after fucking doing this thing. Yeah, actually, yeah. One guy way later, he was like, hey bro, get out of my fucking way. And I don't know, just messing with me around the lockers. And I just pretended to get pissed, and I took him, I pushed him against the locker, and I told him, stop fucking jumping out on me, retard, or something like that. I just acted like a child throwing a tantrum, but I was fucking taller than him, stronger than him, and I pinned him to the wall. And after I just fucking physically intimidated him once, this guy who was actually trying to like stamp over me several times, like repeatedly, he became my best fucking friend. Like, I remember there was this other guy, the guy from the gym, like, we weren't best friends, like, at first, but then I, like, told him to fuck off, and I, like, showed disrespect to him, and, like, shoved him one time when he annoyed me, like, just fucking, when someone messes with you, if you are young and you go to school, and anyone ever messes with you or makes fun of you, like, I give you the permission to just act like a fucking meathead retard for once, because it made my life significantly easier. Like, when people were making fun of me or pushing me around or being mean to me, just physically intimidating, or just, even if I wasn't physically intimidating, like, if I just put up a small fight or just fucking show disrespect to them, just fucking stood up, fucking tall, then they stopped fucking acting up. Then of course I'm tall and I have physical presence. Yeah, but I had that before. I was the same height before, and people still were picking on me because I was this weird guy who eats raw meat who is outside. But when you just position yourself like, don't fucking stomp on me, then they will fucking stop. They will stop. That made my life easier. But yeah, this is like a summary of the troubles I got into, and actually I got kicked out of the school accommodation. So, because like, hey, this fucking guy, he's fucking racist. He fucking picks up a fight on the first class. He fucking joins the school. He fucking eats rotten fucking meat in front of the classmates. He fucking wears a fucking swastika on his fucking face mask and refuses to wear a face mask. He can study here, but he cannot live in this accommodation. So then then I lived at like, for a brief while I lived at an apartment of like my fucking taunt, but that didn't work out and I had to like stop living there for a time. And what happened there is I lived in this city, in this town, and I studied in this older town. And to get from this city to, I mean town, to this other town to study, it will take like 3.5 hours by train, like waiting and everything and whatever. So, point of the story is was until end of that year, I had to fucking, in this town, I had to wake up at 3:30 every fucking day, and then ride fucking 3 hours of trains to go to the school, and then 3 hours of trains to go back. And at times I would, after the school, I would go to my raw milk farmer, and then late at evening or night I would come back with my fucking 12 fucking liters of milk fucking home. Yeah, sometimes I would leave the milk at school, but yeah, often I was just riding 7 hours a day. I was riding trains from my home to school with fucking 8 liters of milk with my fucking bag, like a fucking wanderer. I wandered around my whole fucking country, like here and there, and everywhere with myself I carried a fucking bag of raw milk. It was such a fucking swag. It was like a fucking, basically a grocery bag. It was 3 grocery bags, so the weight doesn't like break it. And at some point, when I was waiting for the train in the morning in my town, I was approached by a homeless guy who saw me with my fucking grocery bag, and he was like, "Bro, you are on the street? What happened? You are so young." Basically, a homeless guy thought that I was homeless because of my fucking bag and whatever. And then he just started smoking weed and wanted me to smoke with him, but I didn't. But it was very funny to be called homeless by another homeless person. That really spoke about my appearance or trip or whatever. Yeah, and then at this point I was training some martial arts. I was training wrestling or whatever. I was just trying it out. I was just starting out, and I injured myself twice during like first few weeks of doing wrestling because, as you can imagine, I wake up so fucking soon, then I go to fucking school, then I either get to raw milk and get home very fucking late, or I fucking go back home and then I go to fucking martial arts, whatever, and then I go home. Just zero free time. I was fucking getting minimal sleep. I had to sleep in the trains. It was very bad. So, obviously I got injured. And one time, I got injured. I was picked up by a guy who knows how to wrestle. Well, I didn't know how to wrestle. And I was like 20 kilos heavier than him. I was a fucking bodybuilder. But I was slow, not explosive. I got picked up by fucking legs and slammed on the fucking ground. And he didn't like me. So on purpose, he fucking... he should fucking like let me go and slam me on the ground. That'll be enough to hurt me. But he didn't like me. So he like slapped me on the ground while still holding me. So his weight adds to it and hurts me more. And it like fucking, my breath got fucking out. I couldn't breathe for a minute or more. I got fucked up. I was fine the next day. I recovered really fast. But I just got so fucking hurt. But during the training session, that guy who just slapped me on the ground, he fucking left. Like, I don't feel good, I feel hurt or something. He left. And then a few days later, or weeks later, I don't remember, I got fucking twisted my knee in some fucking way, and then I was fucking limp for fucking 2 months, and I had to fucking because of my fucking leg. It hurt like shit. It hurt a lot for a long time. So I've got injured. So thank God I didn't have to go to school because I was injured. So I didn't have to go to school at all. So I didn't have to wake up at fucking 3:30 and then ride the fucking train to fucking school and then go fucking back and spend 7 hours. I had a good excuse to not ride the fucking train. Thank God, man. But yeah, what I was getting at. Yeah, after I came back to school, I've like the teacher for PE, the physical education, like he was a complete fucking asshole, like a complete fucking little head person or something, because I was the most physically fit person in there. When we were running around the lake, there was like everyone like yeah, we had a fucking warm up, like run around the lake once like a warm up. And I didn't want to stress myself. I didn't want to train cardio because I was a slow, bulky bodybuilder and I didn't want to lose fucking weight. And when I was told to fucking run, I told him I cannot because of my religion. And I said something like, oh yeah, my religion is the faith in Kyriakos Grizzly, which is something you want to laugh at if you don't know who he is. But if you do, you are just fucking laughing your ass off right now. Yeah, we had this warm up around this lake. And everyone ran, and I just walked. I chilled. I was just completely slow. And then some fat ass told me at the end, bro, you're so fucking behind. That's because of you eating raw meat, retard. So then we had the actual race, like for actual grades. We ran, like actually run, like not a warm up, actual run. Now we have the time measured, and we were now counting the fucking time. I was I was first, alongside, with this guy who was like fucking 5 foot something, like this fucking short. He was skinny, and he was a fucking soccer player. And I was as fast as him. We literally ran to the finish line at the same fucking time. I never trained cardio or running. I just fucking ran from top of my ability. And at the finish line, we were there at the same fucking time, like fucking 2 minutes, 14 seconds or something. And then everyone else was like way behind, and it took them like 3 minutes at least to fucking finish the race. And then when the fatty came up, and he was like, "Bro, you were first," and like, "Yeah, that's from the eating raw meat, retard." And then when we did push-ups, I did fucking the most push-ups. When we did whatever, I did yeah. When we had the fun boxing fight, like with different teacher for PE there, I won everything. I was the most physically fit person in there. When we did fucking bench press of your fucking weight or whatever, I did like second most fucking reps. I was the most physically person in there. And he gave me like fucking no, the grade he gave me was like fucking not enough because you didn't go to the physical education enough. Like every single time I was in the fucking school, I went to the physical education, but I didn't train when I was limp because of my fucking leg. Well, actually, when I was limp, I was still going outside with my friend, and I was still doing pull-ups, and I still trained upper body like a bodybuilder, but I didn't fucking do the PE shit, because I literally had a fucking paper from the hospital telling me, this nigga is fucking limp, he doesn't like fucking need to do the fucking physical fucking education in school, like, cut him from it. And I still didn't get a fucking grade, even though I had a fucking paper from the hospital telling me, yo, he cannot train. He told me, you cannot train, you cannot get a grade. Like, I had a fucking paper from the hospital, fuck you. Yeah, then, so I got kicked out of the school. Then eventually I lifted my talent, and yeah, long story, I was just attending school. Yeah, I was actually forbidden from eating raw meat at school. So what I did then, I was just drinking fucking 20 eggs. Like I buy 20 eggs, go to school, and when I leave the school, the 20 eggs is all gone. I drank it all. Raw milk, I would just fucking hide raw milk in my fucking locker. I will drink it, but the funny part is this. This is going to be some ancient lore. Hold on, I gotta empty my nose. You know, I was forbidden to eat raw meat at school. But that didn't stop me. Like, sometimes I will, but it was convenient for me to just drink raw milk in there. I will bring it to fucking. I will drink it to classes. But one time, I had a hole in my bag, and the kefir. I had a jar of kefir which fucking fell off and broke, and I had to fucking clean it, and it smelled. So I wasn't allowed to move the fucking milk from my locker. So every break, I will just go to the locker like a fucking loner, and I will drink a fucking. My jars, my glasses either kept breaking or spilling because they just weren't tight enough. So what I did is I got rid of all my liter glasses for raw milk. Also, yeah, I will get to. Fuck. Also, I just got rid of my 1 liter glasses of raw milk, and I replaced them with gallon jars of raw milk. It's not a gallon, it's 4 liters, which is almost a gallon. So I had this bag, and I have like 3 gallon jars in there, and I have these jars for fucking years, and I never fucking I actually sometimes do wash them. But I had these unwashed jars which I filled with raw milk, and I will just stand there in the fucking locker room, and I will be fucking staring at the people going to dress from PE, and I will just fucking stare at them like a fucking crazy person, just drinking raw milk in there in the fucking 4 liter jar. Like, every single person in the school will remember me. Like, they all called me carnivore, and at one point I felt very social. So what I did is that I literally did a fucking high five with every single person I met. Like, I was walking on the highway, on the fucking hallway. I just fucking high fived everyone, every fucking one for several weeks straight. Then I was the only person there to play piano. There was this piano, so every lunch break I would fucking go and find some song on YouTube, and I would play along. So I would learn on piano, and so I was 6'5". I was a fucking flat earther. I was fucking eating rotten meat. I was fucking drinking raw milk from a gallon jar in the fucking locker room. I was fucking high-fiving everyone. I was playing the piano. I was the most memorable person ever. Like, when people are on their fucking deathbed, they will be telling they will be telling stories to their fucking family fucking 60 years from now if they live that long. Yo, you won't believe there was this fucking guy at my school. Like, was he even fucking real? I don't know, am I fucking hallucinating? Like, no, that guy couldn't be fucking real. Yeah, at one time I worked at this restaurant near the fucking school, and there was this fucking colleague in this restaurant. And, oh yo, you go to that school? Oh, I've heard from some people. There is this crazy guy who eats raw meat there. Have you heard about it? Is that true? And I was like, yes, of course I know him. He's me. That was funny. Yeah. Then it was actually a Hare Krishna restaurant. I have like a story of me working with Hare Krishna Hinduist vegetarians. It was like the last video on the channel, and there was a Hare Krishna restaurant with this guy, and he was like a Hare Krishna guy, but he was a lot into lifting and testosterone. So I made him drink raw milk, and he really liked it. So we were drinking raw milk together, like one raw meat eater fucking Odinist and one fucking vegetarian Hinduist. But raw milk won't struggle. It was fun. I worked there for a while. It was fun, and we went to the gym sometimes. And he, because of how much milk I drank, he called me Milk. Like in the fucking Hare Krishna community, I was called like Milky George, like unironically, like in Czech language. I was Milky George because my name is like Jirka, which is like George. I was fucking Mlečný Jira, Milky George, and even I helped them distribute their fucking religious books once because it was fun. It was Christmas time. I just helped them, and they wrote me in their official fucking statistic, and they wrote me their they had their full names in the statistic, their fucking religious names, whatever, and they just wrote me in like fucking Milky George. Or Milker. They call me fucking Mlíčňák, which is literally translatable to fucking milker. Milker. And but this Hare Krishna guy who was into testosterone, he literally fucking just called me Milk. He was like, hey bro, I was in like someone called him and he was like, where are you? And he was like, I'm in the gym with Milk. You could say Milk in the Hare Krishna community of Czech Republic anywhere. Hey, I'm with Milk, and everyone knows it's fucking me, because yeah, I have talked about it in the last video. I lived at their farms, and because they were vegetarians, I didn't have any meat or eggs, and I just drank over a gallon of raw milk a day as my only food source there. So it built my reputation as Milk. What else? Yeah, now the fun part. I was working on this Hare Krishna farm once, and I found this dead snake, and I had a mason jar, and I remembered, Agnes Wonder Planets actually talked about putting a snake in a jar, waiting for years, and then you have snake oil. I could try it, so I just snuck a fucking snake in my jar, and I have a past of trying to make high meat at home, and it making my parents very unhappy, and stuff sometimes breaking, and my room being filled of maggots, and having a stain after high meat juice, which not even the bleach could get away, and all of these experiences which were very unpleasant. And I also have experiences with trying to hide raw meat, high meat outside, and it being full of maggots and snails and whatever. So, and also it was winter at that time, so it would freeze the high meat. So, I was thinking, you know, I could hide the snake high meat, the wild snake, the dead fucking snake which I found by the fucking road, in the fucking mason jar. Where could I hide it for the winter? It's like 3 months old already, it smells. It was outside, but it's going to be cold soon. Oh yeah. I can hide it in my school's fucking locker rooms. So I hid a fucking mason jar with a... When it ended, it was like fucking 7 months old fucking snake. And I was hiding it in my fucking locker room. And do you know how I got the fucking idea? Now this is the ancient fucking lore. Like, I expected to give you a short story of fucking whatever, but now we are fucking 30 minutes in and I'm going to tell you about shit I did in my elementary school. So, we had this fucking friend, and this friend, it's relevant. There are two stories. One of them is relevant, one of them is not. But I will tell you the not relevant one first, because it then relates, ironically, whatever I got lost. So I have this friend, and we have this fucking pasteurized milk to schools. Like, every few days we get this fucking milk in the fucking boxes. And I actually loved it. It was pasteurized garbage, it was full of microplastics, it probably decreased my testosterone, but I loved the taste of it. I loved the fucking milk. But most of the time I sacrificed the milk, because we did this thing, like, most of the people didn't like the milk, so we just had this guy, let's call him fucking, I don't know, fucking, let me protect this identity, and let's say it's fucking Peter. Let's call him fucking Peter, even though he wasn't Peter. So, Peter. So, we took all of the milks, and we were like fucking, I remind you, we were like fucking 12 or 13. Yeah, 13 probably. And we took the fucking milks in the fucking boxes. We all like got them into his locker. And then he would make some fucking, he would take some explosive, like the, not explosive, but like the thing you buy at fucking, how do you call it, not firework, but the thing which is kind of like firework, but instead of doing the images in the sky, it just makes a loud noise. He will get that, basically a small bomb, legal bomb from the supermarket. And he will get that, and then he will take like some fucking gunpowder or some shit he will legally buy online or whatever. I don't know where the fuck he was getting this stuff at the fucking 12, but he was. He was basically a pyro. Let's call him Peter the Pyro or some shit. We will take these boxes, we will take this bomb on a fucking public place with houses all around us, in the middle of playground, and we will blow the thing for the fuck off. And it was a school tradition, we would call it kravik, which is basically fucking translatable as cower or cowmaxer. So we took this milk as much as we could. We took this bomb, which he made as strong as he legally could, at fucking 12 or some shit, or 13 or 14, and then we blew it the fuck off. And then there was this fucking mushroom cloud of the fucking milk. And then everyone was watching out of their windows and screaming at us, and we all ran away. And then there was a fucking crater in the fucking ground from the fucking, not crater, but yeah, it was fun. And sometimes you will get the milk into a plastic bag, and then the mushroom cloud will be even fucking bigger. And this one friend, he had like a fucking idea, like this. I mentioned this because of this friend. He had the fucking genius idea to take fucking some leftover fucking fruit or something. It was like not milk, but something else they gave us for food, and we just hid it in some locker or some shit because we didn't give a fuck, and it got like rotten or whatever, and we had the idea, hey, what if we just hide it into this fucking locker, into this. There was this waste in a locker. Let's just put the leftover fucking whatever food in there, and then we put another thing in there, and then another thing in there. We were just basically randomly putting food inside of that fucking locker, and we would let it rot. It would just fucking smell. It was terrible, and we would call it Vidrisek at first, and then I would call it Rentagon after some Lovecraftian deity because I was reading Lovecraft. Oh fuck! Sorry, the sunshine will stop my phone. I have to put it into the shade. So, if you aren't familiar with H.P. Lovecraft, it was this guy who wrote about basically, you know, Cthulhu, that thing with fucking tentacles all over his mouth. He made this thing, and he also made some other monsters. And in these stories, like usually, the monsters have a fucking cult of followers worshipping these monsters. So there was this vase full of rotting stuff in there, and I will just fucking kneel next to it, and I will just pretend to worship it, like if it was a Lovecraftian deity. Like, I don't know, maybe it was fucking some hint that in the future I will be eating fucking high meat or whatever. Yeah, eventually we were busted and we were forced to clean that thing. It was very unpleasant. But yeah, I just randomly remembered the funny story of this thing, of we having this thing in there, in the school. And I thought myself, yo, fuck yeah, I could hide the 6-month-old rotting snake in my fucking locker in the fucking school. So I was hiding it there, and I would randomly, every few weeks, I will just see if anyone was around, and I would just take the bag. It was like in 20 bags at once, so it didn't smell. I would go to the fucking toilet sneakily, and I would eat the fucking rotting fucking snake in the fucking toilet to get fucking high of the fucking high meat. It was very funny and very stressful at the same time. And then when the school ended, I just went outside, and I didn't have anywhere else to store it, so I just ate it at one sitting, and it didn't get me that high. It made me feel better, but in the past I ate high brain before, like 5 months old high brain in summer temperatures, and that got me the happiest and the highest in my entire life. And since that, no high meat, including the snake, ever were similar. And I don't know why, but it didn't turn into snake oil one bit. It was just some fucking dried up meat with this gray fucking juice in there. And probably I needed a bigger snake or something, or there is some extra steps to making snake oil by fermenting snakes in a jar. But yeah, luckily I never got caught while in the school with the fucking snake. But yeah, I just drank raw milk there. That's about it. And my guess is that I don't have anything else to say, I think. Yeah, whatever, if I have anything funny to say or share, then I will do it in the next video. Last thing I could mention is that I'm actually a scammer and I sell something online, so you should shame me to oblivion. But if you don't care, then I have this... basically, if you want to find raw meat friends in real life, then I built this like community where you can see where everyone in the community lives. I made it pretty affordable. It costs like fucking 3 pounds of beef or something, whatever. And also there's like 20 hours of scam courses about nothing, which have no value in them. So don't buy it, it's whatever, I'm a scammer, but it's the first link in the description. And eat raw meat, get tan, and grow your hair out. No, bro, actually, hold on. I've got another thing to tell you, to show you how much I didn't give a fuck at school. This is the part I'm the most proud of. You know, I didn't find a raw milk source which was closer to my home than at that school. So if I wanted raw milk, even if I didn't go to school, I would still ride 3 hours train to go to the fucking school place and go to the farmer or to the vending machine. Like, people tell you I cannot get raw milk. Bro, I rode fucking train for 7 hours in a day to get 12 liters of raw milk. And I will do that fucking 3 times a fucking week because I'm unemployed. And it wasn't a waste of time because I've listened to audiobooks and YouTube videos I downloaded as MP3s, and it was fun experience. And it made my forearms stronger and whatever. So yeah, I just fucking went. I will try ride a train 7 hours a day, 3 times a week to get a fucking raw milk. Yeah, but I did it a lot, often. Like in the winter, I would come back home very late at night, but I will have my raw milk. But that's not the fun part. The fun part is when I was limp from the wrestling injury, and I had papers which told me I don't have to go to school. Do you know what I did? In less than a week of having this fucking paper and injuring myself, I rode this train to the place where my school was to get raw milk, and then I would get back home without going to school. So at the train station, I will to meet my fucking teachers and classmates and like, oh, you are going to school already? And I was like, no, I'm injured. I cannot walk, so I don't have to. I have a paper which tells me I don't have to go to school, and yet I rode a train for 7 hours, like 3 there, 3 back, and then the commute in between another hour. So I took a train for 7 hours, and I would carry 12 liters of raw milk. If I wanted to go less times in a week, I could carry fucking 15, 16 liters of raw milk if I had 2 fucking bags. I don't think I did. I don't know. It was 12 liters minimum, probably 14 or more, whatever. So I told them like I don't have to go to school. I have a paper which tells me I don't have to go to school. Like, but I still rode the fucking train to the place where my school was, so I could carry fucking 20 pounds of raw milk or more or less or whatever, for 3 or 4 hours fucking home. Even though I was injured and I was limping, I was limping, but I was limping with my fucking 3 gallons of raw milk. Like, that was such a disrespect to the school system. Like, I literally met my teachers on the train station. I literally took my train to the place where my school was. I could literally go to the school and be completely fine. But I didn't go there. And instead I just went to the place where my school was to get raw milk. And getting that raw milk was a million times more physically demanding than going to school. So yeah, fuck you, school. Drink raw milk.
Okay, how are you? Are you having a good day today?
A very good day, thank you.
Fantastic.
It's still early in the day here.
Oh, great. And the weather is pretty good.
It's sunshiny today in a clear sky.